Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios, back with another vlog. Today's vlog is number 22, and off the top, straight off the top, I hope everyone's off to a positive and productive week, getting it in, putting that grind in, putting that moments in, even in the midst of this COVID-19 resurgence, and every single day it's another top death number, another top amount of cases in states, whatever it may be. So hope you're safe, hope you and your friends and family are all healthy, and it'd be great if we all work together to kind of get this thing out of here. You know, I know there's places around the world that are doing a lot better than us here in the United States for some reason, and that's concerning to me. But for me, well, my past week, in my last video, I talked about a toothache that I had, and so I remedied that with a lot, like I mentioned, a lot of different home remedies that I found, and each of them did a little bit. You know, they did a little bit. They didn't do the 100%, like by taking it away. The pain was still there. It was definitely rough to sleep, you know, to get to sleep at night. But I think the thing that ended up being the best solution is just doing a combination of ibuprofen and Tylenol throughout the day to kind of tame that, or, you know, quiet the inflammation, whatever the case is. But I did make it to the dentist. Unfortunately, I didn't get more than just x-rays. And so the x-rays led me to a referral to another doctor. And I think it was a case of a situation where my coverage did not cover the full situation, because what they're telling me is I need a root canal and a crown. I don't know how common that is, but that's something I've heard before, people saying they need a root canal and, you know, need a crown. So now I'm actually living in, and so I got to figure a way to make that happen. The way I talked to my insurance today, and they said that there's a way to get it, but it may take some time, so I just need to be patient. And so at this moment, Tylenol and ibuprofen are my friend that keep that pain away, allow me to get through the day without a headache and just kind of just nagging pain, just not being in a good mood. So I'm feeling in a good mood, so I'm glad for that. And also in the last post, I talked about that new project that I got, working with the doctor that I go to. And so over the weekend, I just took some moments to kind of rethink my path. It took me back all the way to my time in university, Chico State, and working in the design class, just to kind of have a process that I usually work with people. I usually have a 3-step process. So usually the first part of the process is, you know, I call it ideation, just kind of getting up some ideas on how to tackle this thing. I mean, a lot of it is research. In this case, it will probably be a lot of research because, like I said, I haven't really got a whole lot of feedback. But I think the last time I was in there with her and just asked her questions as many as I could while I was there, she gave me some good places to start. What I'm hoping to do is be able to use like a Pinterest page and link them up to it, so that, you know, as, you know, the day goes by, they have a break maybe or something like that, or maybe some time on the weekend, they can pin some things in there that give me some inspiration or some ideas of what they would like with this project. The other part of it, like I said, research and ideations, coming up with some ideas, spitballing some ideas. From there, I'll just kind of start roughing some things out, which just kind of leads up to part 2, or step 2. And for me, step 2 would be kind of coming up with a direction to go to. You know, I'll give them some roughs, you know, some ideas. You know, in a sense, they're looking for posters which represent their core values. So they have the core value set. They just need some illustrations to kind of, you know, further express what they're talking about in the core values, and kind of have some throughness, so that it can not just be posters or artwork on the wall, but it also can be maybe like a part of a brochure or part of a web page, or something they can, you know, send in the mail to their clients. From there, you know, roughing it out, I'll kind of give them like 3 different directions to go through. I like the number 3, you know, so it's just kind of, for me, I like the number 3. And so giving them an opportunity to pick a direction and we'll follow that through and see where that leads to. And then what's the final step, well, hopefully not necessarily the final step, but the next step after, or step 3 would be me more refining that idea or that direction and giving them something that looks more like the final outcome than just like a sketch, or it's like a simple sketch, just to kind of give them a direction to think about. So that's kind of the process. I've worked with many people when I've done design work for people, whether it be a logo, partly what was it? It was a portfolio, modeling portfolio. I think I've also done a business portfolio for someone. I've done several resumes. So yeah, I got some design experience, and that has always been my process. And I wrecked into that process because that's kind of how I learned when I was in school. Even my own projects, try to take it like a 3-stepper. Start with doing the research, come up with some ideas, build on those ideas, take a couple of those ideas and just kind of flush them out a little bit more and see where they go to, and see if that's something that you would like to have for your final. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And what's awesome about that is I actually wrote this stuff up a while back and put it together in like a nice little portfolio for myself, so I can showcase to people, or actually when I meet with people, this is how I would present them with it. So I had to brush that off because I hadn't used that in a while. At a certain point, I kind of just saw that most people weren't really at that level, in the sense that they just kind of really wanted something really quick. A lot of times they just kind of, I gave them 3 ideas. That was too many ideas. They had a tough time selecting. But I think in this case, being that they're a little more professional, and that they're their own brand in a sense. They're a brand here in Chico, and they want to present that identity. So I think stepping the game up a little bit wouldn't hurt. And I think the step after all of this is just to kind of be able to connect with them and plan some things out, plan some steps out, so that I can have some dates that I can look at and say, okay, this is what I need to have done by then, this is what I need to have done by then, and so that I can continually be working, rather than just trying to, in between a visit, trying to get information to her, so that we can go from there. So that's why the idea of the Pinterest page was a good idea, so that we can have stuff that's communicating regularly. Obviously email and stuff like that is another way to go, and I probably will do that as well. But I think for starting out, to kind of get some ideas from them would be a great idea, to have a place where they can just drop some things in on the casual, and that way I can start getting a better idea of what they exactly want, or what would be best fitting for them. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm starting the week off just trying to get some of these other things out of the way, phone calls, situations like that. I had to call some dentists and get some ideas of what this is going to look like, possibly for the next couple of weeks, probably into October. They're telling me October 1st is probably one of the soonest that I can actually have my insurance sync up with what the cost of this procedure would be. So I'm glad to be able to be doing something for someone that's noteworthy, rather than these all under the table kind of situations. But I'm excited. I feel good, and as much as the way the things are outside of that, the world and everything, I'm a little optimistic. Over the weekend, I also watched a YouTuber, Roberto. I forgot what his last name is, but he's a designer as well. And what's interesting about him is that I've watched his page grow over the matter of years that I've been watching him. I found him early on. I don't remember how I found it, but I found him early on, and I just seen his page grow. He started, doing all these other things and meeting with all these other influencers, and he just kind of popped up, blew up. So he had a video where he was talking about, I think I watched 2 of his videos. One video was talking about how much he earns with his streams of income over a year. The other one was one about selling t-shirts, and that's something where I started with as well, selling t-shirts, designing t-shirts, and he was talking about that and his process of building up from a simple platform like a Zazzle or Society 66 towards where he's working out on Teespring. And so I checked out teespring.com, and it's a little cleaner. It's a little cleaner than the program I'm using. But I've been invested in that program, and so that program is Zazzle.com. You can find my t-shirts on there. There's a link in the description box below where you can find links to all my social media platforms and all the things that I have on there as well. And it was just kind of cool to kind of see his process and see where he's been in doing this, and to see that he's built himself up to this amount where he's like making $18,000 well, sorry, not a year, a month. That's what it was. That's why I was like, did I say a year? That's not much, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's $18,000 a month. He also does speaking things, obviously with the COVID and stuff like that. That's not a big portion of his this year, but he's doing well. And so when he laid it out, I could see how someone can do that. You know, obviously he has a YouTube channel that's popping. You know, got some things that are laid out, so it's kind of awesome to kind of see that. And it's also inspiration. It's a lot of work, he also said, but he got there. He got there. So it's definitely inspiring and helps me stick to what I set out to do myself. So that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I'll leave this video here, but hope everyone's off to a positive and productive week. And like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go!